Blog
Hello?
Talk Radio.
Hello? Good day. Hi, how are you? Before I go in and I guess share my name and all that, I just kind of want you to know, there was a good day today and there was a small little altercation with me and my daughter, and I began to think of how some of these different things in terms of relationships and what was going on. I said, I'm not quite sure what is being communicated or conveyed with people who are actually not communicating with themselves and with other people. And then here it is letting known. I think about my children, and here it is the company that are intimately close to me, and something as simple as say, hey, let me hold that TV remote and watch TV for a couple of minutes. And then for it to be wrangled a certain kind of way. No. I said, now here it is. You've been watching TV all dang on day. I just want to watch it for about 5 minutes. Can I hold the TV, please? And then here it is. It went from one little thing to me going on Blog Talk Radio to communicate just this. Sometimes it is just easy to just walk away and to pick up your pride and just move on. Now, it had nothing to do with pride. It just has something to do with control. Now, some time ago, it was said to me, Irene, we can control people. And I said, wow. I didn't answer it, and I didn't argue with nobody, okay? And I just said, I did not argue or answer that, okay, or question it. And when you have some people that say, well, listen, oh, hey, I can get these people to come over there and hang out with you. Oh, I don't have to, but I can, and I can do this, and here's this. Oh, I got these people. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, huh? Baby, you want me to argue with you, what? About what? Come on, y'all, really? I say, here it is, my encouragement along the way have been just that. For us to find amelioration, blessing, to improve ourselves. And it's just the truth. When I look at my children, I have one, for the grace of goodness. She graduated from high school, blessings. And I said, hey to her, hey, I want you to go with me and hang out with me, right, to improve and get involved in business. She want to go and she want to do it. If she don't want to do it, I ain't going to argue with her, okay? I have another child. She's in school. But yet here it is. Her thing is that she seemed to have lost her position in terms of respecting me as her mom. Like, I'm your mom. I'm your mommy. Do you understand? The same thing with both of them. To one is different than the other. Irregardless, I'm your mom. Hey, it doesn't matter. But yet, here it is, the thing to see that here it is, her father mistreat me is just repulsive. Here it is, there should be no position for any woman to accept being abused. We like sugar, baby. I don't care what it is. And so I look at me, what's wrong with you? Tapping my daughters. Well, I don't know how y'all want to call it today. Hitting her, smacking her, popping her, pinching her, squeezing her. I don't know what y'all want to call it today, but the thing is, beating it down or something. No, that's false. No concept of put that under there. Just having a small reprimand about what in the world is between me and you. Your attitude and my love. Now here it is, you gotta decide on if your attitude is good or if it's bad or whatever that is. But should not be no alignment for any woman to be abused, especially mistreated at all. But especially when a man is involved in a relationship with a woman, and yet here it is, he has children with her, and then here it is, they mistreat that, and then here it is, she's clothing herself and that likeness, that here it is, like it's okay not to have a communication. Hey, a simple question. Hey, how you doing? Don't talk to me. Wow, that's even harder to... Okay, hold up. I just asked you a question. So when you look at the grid, being able to identify negative talk, positive talk, and what becomes just negative rhetoric, that is just the truth. I apologize for the interruption. Oh, I'm sorry on the radio. Did I say that correctly? But anyway, moving right along. I apologize for the spiel in terms of here it is, what was private, but I guess I wanted to share that. And I wanted to go on to say good evening, good day. I had to put on my radio smile. Today is Friday, May 31st, 2014. Boon, B-O-O-N, blessings. My name is Irene Ratliff, Regal Street Meat Company. Street Meat Company is a non-profit organization seeking partners and sponsorship, such as the listening audience, to help ameliorate goals that can improve our community. Listeners, you can call 646-564-9776. We are on the air 30 minutes daily at 11:30 p.m. By the grace of goodness, training on Blog Talk Premium Package, we can be on air a little longer. I'm thankful. Especially when the talk is good. And if we can get it that good, and especially if we get some callers to call in, now we have a conversation. So there will be no reason to rush. However, we do seek donations. I guess the people who are on the radio and Blog Talk Radio and frequent, they know that it costs money. So the thing is that they actually have it where they're providing certain accesses, but then when you decide that you want to go on the Skype, it's an additional amount of money. Now, I don't know if we could just go on to Skype, but I think I like the whole aspect of being able to communicate on Blog Talk Radio because I've already felt like I've established a relationship. And so, in any case, we do seek donations so that we can stay on air, so we can communicate the Street Meat, the point. Please visit our website at www.streetmeat.biz. And www.meetup.com/street-meat. All right, Street Meat Mingle will be Sunday, June 1st, 2014 at 2 p.m. Southwest Library, and hoping to see a crowd. Don't judge me. Okay. If we are bigger than the small meeting room, hopefully we can get to the mid-sized meeting room. But if not, we can take it to the park area. It is really nice. I wonder if people really acknowledge it or notice it. Shut up. Please bring your snacks, radio, drums, dance steps, etc. for the fun. And if it's raining, it is raining this evening. At least it was raining a little earlier today. Hopefully the weather clears up, and if we decide to go outside and to enjoy the park. Also, please note those who will be joining us for the meeting. I did receive an invitation, and the invitation was for the Four Seasons Hotel at 3 p.m. on June 14th. And for those who have an interest in real estate, I will be, I guess, drawing your name, or you can, if you're interested, you can write that on the email or something. So if you're interested in real estate, you're able to join me. I do have one ticket. There is some treats involved in that, but I have one ticket for someone to join me at the Four Seasons Hotel at 3 p.m. on June 14th, 2014. Okay? I guess, wow. As I said, Street Meat the point. I do want to start speaking on subjects. the thing is that I really would like to have people actually be on the radio, at least knowing that here it is, we're able to exchange certain conversations and things like that. Thank you. And, kind of have an open dialogue, I guess, or communicating what that thing is, and especially if we're able to get people to listen in and they and themselves have some interest here and there. But before I go into the subjects, I want to say there are so many things to do, and we value your support, and we encourage our listeners to get involved with local associations, neighborhood clubs, associations, know your politicians, join your libraries, read and research more often, locate the local law library, and build street-level understanding pertaining to the citizens in your area. Now, today they had a meeting, I guess, in this complex that I'm in. And it was like, well, why you didn't go there? Because I'm like, I went to another meeting. Then here it is, I was like, oh, I got to be incognito. I said, for what? I felt like I wanted to go over there. I guess I would have went over there, Sometimes I think what it is that I'm finding what I think is happening is that, I do give the little logos of my Street Meat Company to one person here and one person there. I may not give it to another person here, and may not give it to another person there. I may communicate with this one person and not that person. And so what happened is that someone is like, well, what is it? Why do you want to engage the community? What? Why should I not want to engage the community? Yes, the community will be part of what that development is. When I look at true amelioration, I ain't gonna fib to you. I'm really interested in working with people in terms of community wealth. Okay? When you're dealing with people who seem to have some resistance on just, resistance on looking at business differently. Okay? Not just going out there looking for work. Not just going out and getting a business name and, thinking you're registering as a small profit organization. But to actually structure business. So they were like, well, here it is, listen to it like this. A large corporation, or if you feel like you actually have business where you won't function as a large corporation, do you realize that they actually have board members and committees and all that different kind of stuff? When you go, next time when you guys look at, say, some of your Fortune 500 companies, they have board members. They have committees. Okay, those things are there. So why would you think that you understand the business aspect of it? This is not just, okay, I'm seeking some self-employment. This is the opportune time for us to try to consider people who may not have a collegiate degree, okay, but may have talents or may have the know-how, because here it is, they've done some things on their own, to get involved so that we can structure the business. Okay, so this is the thing. When you start seeing other people who want to get involved, or even get involved more so than I can probably participate in certain areas, because I'm like, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to call these people. And so somebody said, I'm like, even if they're empty phone calls, we need your help. Meaning, what do you mean by that? You can leave a message. Some people be out and about. You can send an email. Well, who is it? Let's schedule some appointments. Let's go here, let's go there. How we do this. We need to make phone calls on how we start that business. Okay? How do we get it going? What areas is it? Anyway, join the park and recreation departments. There are so many things to be involved in. And have the know. Okay? So get involved and have the know. Be involved. I also wanted to, again, as I was talking earlier before, I apologize. I want to start speaking on subjects such as homelessness. We were getting on it for a moment there, and I know that Just really quick, when we look at some of the people who are homeless today, I want you to look at how drugs had affected our community. And then during that time, a lot of people, they got struck out on them drugs. They had left their houses, or they started looking raggedy. Their mama and them gave it to them, the grandmama, the papa, or whatever was going on. Some of them didn't pay their taxes and blase. So what happened is that when we saw these areas, they were really kind of more in the urban areas. And, some of the areas that have been developed by some of these businesses are actually sitting on property that was owned by people that we see that are homeless today. Now we see that homelessness became a business, so a lot of services, I don't want to say a lot, but there are services being provided for people who, it doesn't matter if they are transitioning, or transient, meaning that they come from another state and then they want to look for new beginnings. But we're talking about people who literally may have lived in some of these areas that have been built up over the recent years. What about the people who are veterans? I mean, did I tell you the gun on the shoe? Ain't nobody said the Army should rehire them people? Okay, the Army is hiring. So why are those people out there looking for work and making business? Why they couldn't stay in the Army? Hello? I said hello. No, know that. Right now they have Fort Gilliam. Some people have suggested why they can't stay over there. Now, I ain't going to fib you. They wanted to say something about Fort McPherson. But I'm going to tell you like a T.I. is. Fort McPherson, blessing, should have been associated. Fort McPherson should have been associated with Morehouse. Okay? Morehouse, the AUC Center, should have adopted Fort McPherson for military school. Okay? When we go by and we see Fort McPherson the way we do, and see that hear that they want to tear that up for mixed use, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, say, honey, we should be out there like kumbaya and, we just building a bridge and the gate before they made that decision. I ain't gonna lie to you, I was out there, when I came out here, I was like, oh, what? I'm sitting, hey, write the note. Oh, I didn't know what was going on. Hey, stop the press. I'm like, here it is. I'm sitting there passing out flyers over there at Morehouse and going to, here it is, the ROTC. Fort McPherson literally should be a part of the AUC Center. Leave that the way that it is. Maybe add a few more buildings to it. But it should become a full-fledged school. Military school. Now, the next thing is that they should have adopted the AFRICOM account. Now, lo and behold, did you know they said that, what was his name? Andrew Young asked for that too. Andrew Young wanted to know how we were able to house AFRICOM. Now, AFRICOM is less than 10 years old. They decided they were going to go over there to Africa because here it is, we have interest over there. Okay? And so what we should have acknowledged, or what we should have assessed, is what is our interest over there. Okay? And whatever interest that is, honey, own some stocks in those companies, baby. Hey, we are over there, own some stocks in those companies. Because here it is, you own them, or you're a part of shareholder. What's wrong with y'all? So what are the interests? So even if they consider offering some training here and there, anyway, Fort McPherson should have been part of the AUC Center as a full-fledged military school with the AFRICOM account. Okay? Hello? Now y'all sure enough seem like y'all was sleeping on that. It's as if here it is, y'all didn't know no better. Oh, excuse me. Excuse you. You know what I mean, right? I'm like, here it is, don't get me misunderstood. They do have don't ask, don't tell. But come on, ain't nothing wrong with no girly man, I guess. Shit, or men, all these B-boys running around here with their pants half dropped down to their asses and shit. I'm like, really? Y'all think that shit is okay? No, that ain't okay. Man, it's time to grow up from that. I'm like, really? You know, I'm like, we got a whole group of young men that need some structure. And they just looking, they ain't trying to do nothing. I'm asking these basketball players, these football players who got their children out there looking like that. And here it is, all these hip-hoppers and everything. Why y'all got your children looking like that? Huh? I'm like, honey, no, they should be sending me a donation so that we can try to get involved and try to have these men be creative and think on the innovative tip. Back in the day, you'd be able to find a few young men that like electronics. Now they just want to wait and sit around and play PlayStation and Wii. I wonder if do they break the sucker down and see what it looks like? Do you see the components in that? And they pass all the way down to their booty. Yes, we do. Our men need structure. Okay? And it's just the truth. They should understand what that is. So anyway, all that to say something about homelessness. Moving along. Whew, we could go back to that subject, as I mentioned before, but I am looking for some people who would like to join in and be a part of the conversation. Moving on from there. Immigration. The short note. Check it out. I did go to undocunation yesterday. I did attend the undocunation yesterday. And it was over there, I think, in Virginia Highlands, and I really had a good time. I ain't gonna fib to you. I kind of broke out in tears. There was this young lady, Filipino girl, she was doing spoken word, and she was like, yeah, you know. I was like, I know that's right, girl. Right? She was doing the spoken words, and I said, wow. You know, when we look at our females, when they do the spoken word, you know, they get really animated and put a little drama in there. And I said, well, you know what? I mean, if you go in the drama class, I guess it will almost sound the same. But she had a lot of passion in her conversation, right, in her spoken word. And I just said, but to say that is to say, you know, even if we know, I don't ever want us to change the word struggle to say achieve. Change the word struggle to say achieve. But what is missing, even though it was a mixture of people, okay, what is missing, though, is those who may have a concern or a passion about the community and maybe how it looks or how it's addressed. We're not mingling in with people who actually also share the same interests. But consider what is going on the immigration bill. You know, they passed the immigration. Some of us ain't thinking about it because we're citizens, right? We're citizens of the United States of America. Here it is, the whole aspect of the immigration bill is just passing, and nobody's thinking about it because here it is, they don't think it belongs to them. But we do have people who come from Latin America, from Asia and Africa and Europe, Canada, etc., and they also participate in the whole aspect of the immigration. Now check it out. Check it out now. Pay attention. Now, I know we are citizens of the United States of America, and we value, period. We are United States of America citizens, and we value that. Understand? However, do they exercise dual citizenship? So when these people actually come over and they get their citizenship, is it dual citizenship from their country to here? That's a question. Because now you have to look at what is the immigration bill. The question is, do we receive the same benefits they gain here if we move to their country? You understand where I'm coming from? Do we get health benefits? Do we get the food stamps? Do we receive home care, housing and all that kind of stuff? I mean, you can come from anywhere. As long as you got the money, you have a passport from Timbuktu. You got the money, you can live here. And then I guess the same thing anywhere else. But the constraints are a little different. Like I was traveling in Latin America. I mean, you had to be a citizen to receive certain benefits. So when we look at taxes and things like that, I mean, it's just a question. But anyway, move from there. Though we are able to attain our passport and travel here and there, what are the foreign policies? Okay, so the United States, we know and account for everybody that wants citizenship here in America. So when we acknowledge, if we're doing a checkpoint of these different people, blessings, who are seeking citizenship, and their country is there, what is the foreign policy relationship to the country that we are actually citizening their citizens in the United States? Moving on. And what is the relationships in these countries of people that we offer citizen or naturalization? What do you mean? Well, what are the relationships there, and what is their immigration status structure looks like? Like I want you to watch what you get. I tell you the God's truth. Mexico should really have the top of the line immigration situation in Mexico. Okay? When you look at it, in Mexico really do not have an immigration structure. And matter of fact, to tell you the God honest truth, not only should they have that, but what is their refugee status? They do not have one. Okay? But yet here it is, the way they showed it, it was just like a lot of people who are coming from Mexico looking for citizenship. But I'm going to let you know right now, it was majority of Latin America. It wasn't just the Mexicans, even though we saw them were the largest voice. Mexico really is a gate. Blessing. Okay? When we look at Canada, it's a door. Mexico is a gate. Then you also have, and then everything else is the port. Or here it is, a wing. Anyway, not accounting our embassies here or there. Just because there's an embassy there, we got plenty of embassies and consulates and dignitaries and all that here. Diplomats, right here. You go to D.C., all up in New York and here and there, they there, and you'll find that they have commerce and everything here. So why does the business look like it do in the international community then? You mean to tell me we got all this thing going on and it look like it look? Huh, I'm sorry. Not accounting our embassies here and there. Anyway, moving on from there. So again, as I said before, I would like to actually have the conversation with other people so that we can have that open dialogue. Just a little bit to have food for thought. Racism. Okay. We embrace everyone. We are cordial. Okay? Why should I identify me when I see and you see me? Why do I have to identify me when you see me? I see me too. I am an onyx, or you could say swarthy female. I ain't gonna lie to you. Say, here it is. You know, there was an argument back in the day about black. So I had wrote some names down. I didn't write them recently, but I don't mind going over that again. So here it is. We have black. Then we had the Nubians. Then we had Nubian. Then we have African American. I mean, and today, even for, I'm like, they still using Negro. We got Negro. What is the other one? Color. What's some other terminologies that they've used? Ebony. Okay, I'm just going to use these, okay? Is that okay? Just going to use those for now. Now, if we can just try to help condition of what we call each other, that would be grand. You know, back in the day, we would go over this whole theory about black and white. Well, when you look at white, it sounds all positive and everything. You look at black and look all gloomy and everything. They wanted to look a certain kind of way, right? But then here it is, they want to say lack. Now, I ain't going to say it to you, lack. Lack. I'm more than lack. Bless. The Nubians, of course, this name was kind of formulated in an effort to communicate about Egypt. And so you have the Egyptologists and those who study Egyptians. And so they want to relate that to the Nubians. And I was like, well, don't get me misunderstood. That's on the northern star over there. And then half of them folks don't even call themselves, and they're over there in Chad and all the Sudan, looking like they look. But they don't call themselves Nubians nor Nubians. And then when we look at, here it is, what the Nubians or what we would consider Nubians or what that is, I don't know. I mean, it's really questionable. Because the thing is that there's a misinformation somewhere in there that we really, okay, I just leave it like that. African American. Now, most of the Africans, they look like they look, and most of the black folks look like they look, that we had to go through a series about black men, excuse me, that lack. Man in America was brown, and the Africans was black. Say that to a lot of you. This is like, what? So here it is, the light-skinned blacks over here, you black. But then here it is, the Africans over there, they black. No, I'm sorry. The Americans are brown, and the Africans are black. Okay, I'm seeing a lot more swarthy people running around here, and that's a good thing. Okay. Negro should have been dropped a long time ago. That should have been dropped a long time ago. I don't even know why we use Negro, because when we actually did the breakdown of the word Negro, listen, pay attention, Negro actually means negar. Negar means to deny. Okay, so over a period of time, we start focusing on this N, which is actually liquid. And then if you're looking at one end where somebody's saying, I'm in, and what that is in terms of substance, there's the guard, and then the guard for what? So now we're looking at guard, and then here it is, the guard and the deny. And yet, I ain't gonna be Negro should have been dropping nigga and nigger long time ago. Negro, nigger, nigga, niggas should have been dropped long time ago. And it's just the truth. I mean, they done buried the sucker still living. I tell you the gun honest truth. What? I don't give a flying flip if you want to talk about how it's mentioned in Spanish. You can use Moreno. Okay? They do have Moreno over there. How we have to identify ourselves. Moreno. That's what I'm like, they're going back and forth. I'm like, we are the Moreno. Understand it? Colored, we are all colored people. That's just truth. The whites, the blacks, the yellows, the reds, the browns. But do we have to use that to identify ourselves? Not really. I mean, here it is, it come up during a time where it just sounds like a book. And then we come to ebony. Ebony was actually a utilized word that actually is derived from Asia. So you got the Chinese, the Japanese, the Taiwanese, and for the swarthy people, they were called the Ebonese. So to tell you the truth, Ebonese is actually for those who may be in the Pacific. That's kind of like how they would have addressed themselves. They would consider themselves to be Ebonites, the Ebonese. Ebonese. So anyway, to make a long story short on that, onyx, or swarthy. That's streetly, folks. Here it is. I would prefer to call us onyx. Because, you know, when you look at an onyx stone, it's black. You know. Okay. In color. And then it has an array of other things. Right? And it goes all the way to light. So, onyx. And swarthy. Anyway, let's talk it over. Function and help eradicate the negative thoughts of communities and communities who appease reality. For some reason, I ain't gonna feel you. I thought we just went through a moment where here it is, this whole aspect of us not being able to identify who we are as a people because now they're trying to have us look like we're separating us. What? Honey, if that light-skinned, white-looking black woman is over there, she's black. And yet you have a lot of people who are fair-skinned, and they associate with their swarthiness. They do. They associate with their swarthiness. And then we have some who do not. But the question would be, when we look at racism, what is it? Now, when we look at certain things, I'm going to just go here because move on. Whistle, blow, law, etc. I'm going to actually take the time in which I will take the time to look at some of the books that I have here that's focusing on politics, morality, politics, and law, the Whistleblower's Handbook, and Legal Research. These books are there to try to help kind of format what we need to do in terms of doing certain research, to have some understanding of what that is in terms of communal law. Not common law, but what is it in terms of our community and where we live, how do we build security, how do we address certain cases like the Troy Davis, Cecilia McMillan up there in New York. Both of them are police related. Yes. Do we need to have a study and a research on that? The answer to that is yes. Should we create a publication on that? Oh, yes, we can. The reason why is because we need to have that structure where there's an understanding of our relations to what law is. It's imperative. That's kite society. It's kite society. That's what it's called. The committee is kite society. So to tell you the truth, most of these things that I'm addressing right here deals with kite society. Okay? So kite society need people to research, people who interested in the law, people who's interested in security, things of that nature. All right. Again, as I said before, seeking suggestions and guest speakers to join in the conversation. I appreciate the listening audience and hope to participate in the scope of unity. You know, what I'm finding out that the unit we're there and we're involved here and there, but what it is one people trying to do certain things, and I ain't gonna fib to you. I mean, you know, I've just kind of moved back to Atlanta. And it's not that street meat in terms of conversation hasn't been there. I was just looking at the collective people movement, and I was looking at that, and I was like, oh wow, you know, I remember 10, 10, 50. You know, oh yeah, look at this. You know, so anyway, I know that there's people who really have put in some time, and they're there, and they're doing the dang on thing. My thing is, why does it look like it look? My interest really, to tell you the truth, is for us to have a business scope about ourselves, about our community. It's important. It's time for us to grow up and move on. It really is. I don't understand what we feel like we're missing in terms of unity. So the thing is that out of one conversation to the next, Nguzo Saba, I see that here it is. There are people who are using certain things that are related to Nguzo Saba. And, I mean, I don't want to be calling people who feel like they're involved in their own thing, and yes, and at the same time I do. You know, it's like, well, how can I involve myself and relate what that is in terms of street meat. Okay, street meat company. Oh, well, here it is. We got this thing going on, and so what is it? It's one thing to have a people get together and function a certain kind of way, but then here it is. We know we need to be building, and yet the only thing we think about is partying when we should be trying to have certain relationships, not only within the United States, but also on the international tip. Okay, so here it is where we're looking at unity. How we create, what kind of unity? You got all kinds of unity. You got a whole bunch of stand, sits, and lays. So the question would be for those who are actually out there talking about unity, what is your unity as an individual and then as a community? Okay, because I met somebody and his unity was to try to get us involved in exercising and eating good. So I adopted that and put that in the Guzo Saba. I was like, I know that's right. Say, here it is, and the way I saw it, I was talking to him about Kwanzaa, and that's how I was like, well, let me adopt the Guzo Saba. Because I'm like, brother, we have unity. So I was like, hey, you know what, you right. We talking about these 7 principles, which y'all should know them. I'm going to repeat them really quick. Umoja, unity. Kujibujilia, self-determination. Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Ujama, cooperative economics. Nia, purpose. Kumba, creativity. Imani, faith. Right? Okay. And I said, well, you know what, if we out there in the community like that, now I'm going to want to put my own foot in my mouth. Because, I'm fat. But if he out there talking about he want us to get fit, I'm going to go into that in a few minutes. Hold on. I think I'm going right into it in just a few minutes. Okay. After that, I'll go on. Seeking suggestions and guest speakers to join the conversation. I appreciate the listening audience and hope to participate in the unity, seeking to get involved with things aligned with Street Meat Company objective. Hope to encourage others on what it is. Our neighbors and peers, we move on, and it's time to move on. It's like, here it is. What is that? We need to embrace something, and that will be true amelioration. That would be true amelioration. So if you go on the website, you'll see that. But anyway, today, if you go look on the calendar, I should actually have the calendar on Blog Talk Radio. And there's a calendar. So what I do is I actually go to my functions or go participate in certain functions. Then I said, okay, well, I will spend that time communicating about those activities on the day-to-day. So it's like, well, once I actually, get on the radio, I'll communicate, ad-lib. But first I used to ask a lot of questions and all that, and I'm like, I'm looking for people to listen in and on the radio station, and that's a good thing to try to, be a part of the Blog Talk's affiliation program so that here it is, you can raise money. But anyway, today I went to the Doctors Are In at the Renaissance Hotel. The class they taught, the people who taught the class was Dr. Brian Dixon and Dr. Karen Langston, and they spoke about a healing retreat in Mexico called the Sanobi. And I don't want to really elaborate too much about it because I'm not sure exactly. Hold on. It's supposed to be like some kind of like a luxury, a Sanovid, Sanovid, health and education retreat. And medical and education retreat, and they have combination packages and this, that, and the other. They provide healing. But anyway, their point was, and the subject was, nutrition and exercise. Diet has lost its eating rights, to tell you the truth. What is it? Maybe today what they use is people eat healthy foods and they still are fat. You can have healthy foods and still be fat. I ain't gonna be, I'm fat. exercise, the encouragement through Nguzo Saba, or the consideration, that's what I would like to promote, is to exercise up to 14 hours a week. I guess you consider 2 hours a day. Okay? And yoga and Pilates is a form of stretching. But it should not be considered, really, to tell you the truth, as you know how some people want to exercise. No, you exercise and you consider yoga and Pilates as a tool to balance our equilibrium as the virtue man. And when you look at mathematics and the virtue man, and here it is, some of the ancients that actually practice yoga and Pilates, and from India or China, you will see that here it is, it's an art. And they have such a balance about themselves. And here it is, when I go to certain areas in the community, there's a lot of places that really embrace the yoga and the Pilates. I was over there in Virginia Highlands today at the Now organization, and they had Pilates and yoga like it was an ice cream. And so I asked one of my associates, I said, well, can you show me that A thing? Oh, it really looked good on her. She said, the downward dog. I said, I know that's right. Mm-hmm. So anyway, it should be set aside as an addition. So using that, I'm looking at that in terms of how do we see our bodies. When the man was sitting there talking about he wanted to exercise, most of our men look good. Most of them do. And so when I'm like, if we look at our men and they look good, looking all scrumptious and they got the little muscular and all the muscles and everything, then they must be talking about the women. So here it is, we're thankful, young men. We're thankful, man. We thank you, fires, for liking our fatness. We thank you for squeezing on us, and I will thank it. For women and our men, y'all must encourage our women to exercise. Go out there and exercise with them. You don't see a lot of couples out there exercising. Take your family to the park. Walk around a few times. Buy a bike. I mean, some of them hills are like it look, but the thing is, it's good. It promotes that thing in terms of what Nguzo Saba is. If we looking at ourselves, I mean, if you want to call out Nguzo Saba on the street meet, I ain't gonna fib you. I just wanted to see what it was. But the truth of the matter is that I start to feel a certain kind of way when I was like, okay, well, yes, our promotion is to talk about exercising and juicing. So when we talk about veggies and fruit, to tell you the truth, the conversation really is about juicing. It's about juicing, not eating or consuming it. Okay? So learning how to juice. But anyway, going from there. I encourage our men to please have your woman and your children, y'all go exercise together. So anyway, when the young lady had showed me the downward dog, which is in the yoga position, her guy did not hesitate to follow her lead. That's a beautiful thing when you can find that union with a man and a woman and they exercise together. Especially when they can meditate or mediate together. Okay? So I encourage, please, I'm going to say it again, men, it may bother somebody. I wanted to say, I was asking my friend, I said, hey, I got this jump rope, we could jump rope together. He literally got pissed off. And, while I was in transition, too, I was having people say, hey, go exercise. I do exercise. So I started to ask myself, why I got all this stuff? Because of the consumptions. I like starchy foods. But I have to change what that is. It's like I said before, I have to change that. But anyway, men, encourage your women to get themselves up and exercise with them. Help them feel just as beautiful as you see them. And as I said before, we appreciate you for loving us and caring for us. We can always improve on what that is. So the question became, how do we detoxify our bodies, especially when we look at our stream? Well, you could drink water, you could have vinegar, etc., 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 but you do it by sweating. Okay? And then here it is, steam rooms. And women naturally have a menstrual cycle, which is a good thing. Okay? So her having her menstrual cycle is a good thing. So from a previous meeting, they spoke in reference to community health and wealth. What constitutes as a healthy environment? So anyway, the community, for an example, how do we rate 5 Points MARTA Station bus area? The question again. In the community, and we're speaking community, how do we rate 5 Points MARTA Station bus area? You know, that thing looks like a look. Now, I ain't going to go in there. You know, I just, listen. But what that look like to you? Now, you want to take a sexy place. Now, what does Auburn Avenue look like to you? Now, what about Edgewood? Okay, let me use Edgewood and not Auburn Avenue. Edgewood. Okay. Now, what does Vine, over here on Martin Luther King by Vine City Station, what that look like to you? Okay? Ujima. Hello? Ujima. Okay? Now, here it is. If you feel like you have to have a tune for that, when I said Ujima, I said, that sounds like the saxophone. But, hey, Ujima, what does that look like to you? And then here it is. Now we could talk about community, health, and wealth. What does it look like to you? All right. Again, as I stated before, Nguzo Saba efforts from the street meat perspective is to promote juicing fruits and veggies as an alternative. Okay. You can mix your blend it up, and you can have your nutrients for the day. Like I said before, I have to work on it. Okay. I did give myself some grace period, and I guess now I have to kind of, as they would say, www, I'm speaking on it. I got to work on it. So, if you go on www.meetup.com, you will see on the Nguzo Saba what them folks look like. Now, I ain't going to fib you. I ain't going to try to look like that. I like my juiciness, but, hey, it is an effort. Please go to www.meetup.com/street-meet. Okay, and for the listening audience, again, you are able to call in at 646-564-9776. I also, let me go on to this really quick. You know, I try to write my little notes for the day of what I've done, as I explained to you before. Anyway, I met a lady today by the name of Carolyn Atkins. I met her at the Doctors Are In, and I hope to work with her in regards to her effort as a natural food chef. Oh, well, she'd be a perfect ingredient or additive to the Nguzo Saba and street meat effort. They say she's the juicing queen, that she almost sell her own products. I'm like, well, really? I'm like, girl, hush your mouth. See, you know, street meat is a up and developing non-profit organization. I'm trying to meet people and seek sponsorship, and seek their advice. You know, sponsorship, advice. Here it is, or suggestions rather, blessings. And then here it's blessings. And then trying to seek partnerships. Anyway, we need a board of directors, and here it is, we need to figure out what street meat is and build on that, so that here it is, we can start getting to these different levels of organizations, and federal, state, or international relationships. All these things matter. Street Meat Company. So if you, tomorrow I'm going to have a sign-in sheet, and of course you can decide on those things that is of interest to you, and I will go over those 4 or 5 committees again. Thank you. Let me go over here. But anyway, I will give you her information, but I want to call her for the Google Saba. Therefore, let's see what she has to say. I wanted to go back up here. Oh, okay, let me go ahead and speak to the listening audience. Listeners, you are able to call 646-564-9776. And we are on the air 30 minutes daily at 11:30 p.m., but by the grace of goodness, we are actually trying out the premium package, and we hope to stay on there longer, but we do need donations. Please visit our website at www.streetmeat.biz and www.meetup.com/street-meat. And a reminder that Street Meat Mingle will be Sunday, June 1st, 2014 at 2 p.m. at the Southwest Library. Hope to see some of you guys. Yes. Okay, if it's a nice size, great. Hopefully they will have the medium-sized meeting room. Hopefully the area is kind of dried up because it did rain out here. They have a beautiful park right there in front of the library. And it's really nice. At least I thought it was kind of, family-oriented. So they maybe later on, we can get a few people lounge out in the area. Blessings. So please bring your blankets, your snacks, the radio, the drums, the dance, the steps, etc. for the fun. So we are looking for you guys to participate. Thank you. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and communicate what is street meat. Now, I had some women say, well, what is that spider? What is that? I thought you were talking about street meat, M-E-A-T. I said, I know we own a G-U-I-L-D. But even if it's the meat, yeah, that's good. Blessings. But when you look at a spider, it weaves, and we want to weave good governance and relationships so that here it is, we're able to pursue the interest of our community, okay, and our state, okay, and our country, okay, and what it is in the international country too, in the world, okay? So we want to be able to expand these relationships, like this person doing this, that person doing that, and can we all just work together? All right, we have currently Street Meat houses 4 committees, and would like for persons to evolve in goodness and collaborate to help manifest creative thoughts of innovation with street meat potential, because I really probably want to have the conversation like this evening so that I really don't have to go over the same material tomorrow, okay? So for those who are listening, I'll break it down to you what Street Meat Company is so that you can have that understanding, so that we'll consider each day to be, or each meeting as a meeting. If you go on to the meetup.com, you'll see where there's information for the first meeting that I'm going to go over right now about what street meat is, okay? Matter of fact, I have to, there's other materials that I would like to go into because there's actually materials to teach. But anyway, Nguzo Saba means the 7 principles associated with Kwanzaa. The 7 principles are unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. Street Meat Company values the formation of Nguzo Saba, and we associate healthy foods such as vegetables, fruits, and advocate juicing, okay? and also exercising up to 14 hours a week, doing the yoga. I have an understanding of what mediation is through yoga and Pilates. And then, as I stated before, we are a work in progress, okay? We are a work in progress. So the thing is that I am, now that I'm actually, me going here and there, and my transportation is MARTA, I am engaged in certain other activities that I wasn't doing while I was driving. I also had to purchase a bicycle, so I'm riding my bike, bless you, and I'm going here and there with that. I want to say that we have true amelioration, which is the 3WD. The goal is to create employment. There is a difference for someone going to find employment, someone who wants to be self-employed, and those who want to be business owners or shareholders, okay? And as I stated before, the goal would be for us to create, even on the profit end, you still have to have people who want to sit as board members. So if we have a product, which you will see on 3WD, there's like several ideas that if we were able to find and locate these people who know how to do certain skills or know how to do certain things, which I know you're out there somewhere, okay, as I would call them, our gems. We want to work with you, and here it is, maybe we can try to allocate the funds and all that, and try to create and try to have, certain things, and I'll go over those things in a minute. But our goal is to create employment opportunities with collective work. The goal is to create community wealth. Understand that. Community wealth. Profit sharing. Community wealth and profit sharing. Okay? What happens is that you may find somebody who may open up a business, and then they open it up and they want the community to come in and purchase their goods. Well, what we have to teach people who are small businesses is to actually know how to invest, not only in employing other people who are seeking their business, but also how to create the community wealth. And I could talk more on that a little later, but and it's just the truth. How do we create community wealth? So Street Meets 3WD, True Amelioration Effort, is to create community wealth with ecosystem creation. Apprentices will work to manifest the assigned task of choice. So when we look at here, it is the whole aspect of, people who seem to be, collecting materials, making phone calls, just like any nonprofit organization. You'll be working on those things, and then here it is, there will be assigned seats, I assume, depending on, here it is, the graceness of somebody's work. You know what I mean? But, here it is, there's opportunity for us to try to do that thing. But how are we going to do it if we don't work? Right? Okay. So there's some work ideas. The automotive, engineering a make or model. We want to work with a small business that may have built an engine, right? Or maybe can we create our own engine? I was calling, being able to use shell gas or something. A power engine or something like that. Building materials. Building materials that is termites. App designs. We need to be able to gain the communication to do three-way. Business consulting, customer service, telecommunications. Packaging oil. Irrigation system. Building walls. Water conservation. Building wells. Most of these people they're not building any wells, but for the state of Georgia, we have a lot of good water. We have good water, so we should be able to build wells. Water conservation and utilizing sewer water. Asphalt. Recycled materials in terms of the environment. Electronics. Aviation. Do you remember the Jetsons? They say, I have a thing in aviation. I said, what do you mean? She said, I was air traffic controller. I said, I know that's right. But there are people out there who actually know how to build it, a model for airplanes or cars. It's like, really? Okay. So the thing is thinking in the area of the business world, okay? Mostly, some of these people that are out there that work, and there's nothing wrong with service jobs, because ultimately, once you actually do the creation and think of the designs or the business aspect of it, it becomes services. And I want to say right here from West End, from Fort Lakewood, Fort McPherson area, all the way back there, even Oakland, Fort McPherson, this is other stuff. College Park. Do you realize how many empty business buildings over there? What's out there to do? I'm like, look at all those businesses over there and we ain't filled them things up. I was on the Collect the People movement and I saw we have a trucking company. Man, we got a trucking company. Yeah, I mean, we could do logistics and distribution. We should be able to manufacture certain things, and they actually establish these relationships where we're in Georgia, so we have Savannah, where we're able to actually port some of these goods in the international community. I didn't know that in terms of the port, the Savannah Port Authority, I was like, wow, I was surprised to find out that we have one, and it was as active as it is. Okay? So you have all this stuff that's out there. I ain't going to fib to you. I'm going to reiterate this. But when Hurricane Katrina went down, honey, I ain't going to fib to you, honey, that would have been, we should have owned that port. That area right there should have been developed as a port. And then so we was able to not only move some of our products through the Caribbean and Latin America, but also through Africa and India and Asia and go back around to Europe and all that. Because, matter of fact, the question is that when we look at Africa on the north and the western side of the hemisphere, I'm like, well, do they have ports over there? And, at one time I was questioning if they have ports, and I know that here it is, not the Chinese, but they were talking about building a port over there in Kenya. Excuse me. I don't know if that wouldn't happen or anything. But, it's just a question, but we should own that port. The conversation must be good. But yeah, so here it is. We have the ports. We got things to be. I mean, what are our products? Oil. We don't get me wrong. Shea butter that went somewhere else. That stuff ain't cheap. Who thought of that? And it's so commercial. Most of our stuff today, when we're looking at, here it is, young people such as Onyx, people who haven't really developed or even been kind of in that scope when we think about technology and innovation. Most of our stuff had to come by hand and come, and be sold a certain kind of way. If we used to go to somebody who may be seasoned in whatever they got going on, that's a big chunk of money they're able to keep. And the thing is, and there's a lot of small businesses that are looking for other entrepreneurs to make that thing happen. So we encourage to have people who do things by hand. Like I met a woman yesterday. She crocheting. A lot of our women are not crocheting, but they make baskets. It makes me wonder. I don't think a lot of African women over there in Africa crochet. I didn't find too many of them when I was traveling in Latin America that do it either. Knitting, crocheting, pottery. Yes, honey. Our artwork, to tell you the truth, I'm not saying that we should not look at our artwork. We should always look at creativity in the arts. Whether we're thinking about how we want to architect a building. We got people with money, but yet here it is in terms of them building one of those high towers. It's not there. So the thing is to be like, oh, we should be able to design buildings, here it is, this architect and all that. We should be creative. Don't tell me about how they built something in Egypt when here it is, you were able to build those things today. We're able to build those things, but it hasn't been built. Okay? So here it is, shea butter. Right now we have churches, we have homelessness, barbershops, some convenience stores. So I just want y'all to think about what is it that what we see, and then here it is, we're the innovative thought thinkers and the people who want to be creative. Whether it's solar system, it doesn't matter. If they feel like they got an idea, we don't want to send it to, what is that, innovators.com, whatever, or here it is, a great idea, and it's going somewhere else when we're trying to build, especially when we're trying to build community wealth. And so I lean on some of these places like Atlanta Tech, and we got also Opportunity Hub. Opportunity Hub actually works with a lot of entrepreneurs, and their goal is just to try to have a meeting place for people to actually do business. So instead of doing business from your home, you can actually benefit from maybe using the 200 Peachtree address as opposed to using your home address or something like this, or a P.O. box, blase, blase. And then you're able to go in and meet people there. Actually, to tell you the truth, the little setting is cool, but I was over there trying to see how can we get some of these entrepreneurs in this menu stage and build a corporation. I don't know. Maybe that was just too big for them. Anyway, the ideas are few, but the startups can manifest employment, community wealth, and profit sharing. Learn more of Street Meat's agenda on www.streetmeat.biz and www.meetup.com street-meat. Okay. Kite Society, as I mentioned before, I do and will want to go through these series lessons of the Whistleblower's Handbook. It's a step-by-step guide to doing what's right and protecting yourself, morality, politics, and law, legal research. Street Meat would like to work with persons that can help build paths to reinforce our comprehension of what is our inalienable rights and liberty in this country. But we live here. Now here it is, if you got these people, I ain't gonna lie to you, what? We live here. We got so many people that act like they just at a distance of where we live. We live here. Okay? Because he said, we live here. Our ancestors live here. Okay? Alright. You mean tell me we got to tiptoe? We live here? We all pushed in somebody's corner? What the heck? What side of that corner you on? Glory. But of course, as we said before, we're cordial. But yes, we can build security. Yeah, they threw up, excuse my French, they threw up whatchamajigget in no time, honey boo. Anyway, some organizations require persons to be a member or pay member fees to seek services. Thanks to American Civil Liberties Union, but other organization is assisting some of the caseloads they receive. So when we have caseloads going through the fingers, like those situations that took place in Macon, and yet we ain't seeing them advocating in certain ways, yet they advocators, then that means that here it is, something gone wrong, we got to get on it. When here it is, we have people from this group and that group going out there acting like they want to go out there and say something, and then here it is, it becomes an ineffectual thing. Then at that point, we must acknowledge what that is. That means that somewhere near, we didn't structure it a certain kind of way, the way that we need to, in terms of our rights, family rights, human and civil constitutional rights, liberty rights, law rights. If you find some of them law books, honey, you'll find that here it is, we still have to focus on the Jim Crow law. During Martin Luther King, they did not eradicate that. They just pacified that, talking about the Civil Rights Act. But did you know they went to the Supreme Court and they want to throw out that whole aspect of that? Huh? Now, I tell you the gunner's truth, to tell you the truth, we really shouldn't be going through all of that because it's our Constitution right. Okay? So when we look at certain things and when the argument is about our right to vote, V-O-T-E, not boat. Oh, good gracious, Lord mercy. Anyway, when we look at that, we should realize the importance it is of us acknowledging what that is in terms of our rights. Where is your local law library? You must find your local law library, your regular law library, your regular libraries may not have the research materials. Yes, we need to build resources and security for vulnerable situations. And what is separation of church and state, police and citizen? We our own need to know. We can build legal citizen counsel without being a lawyer or attorney. Citizen representation, we can build it. Okay? I had a conversation with some young ladies, and the conversation was, what is TULIP? I was moving on from Kite Society. So Kite Society. TULIP. Oh, well, here it is. The woman rights. That's Kite Society. Oh, well, here it is. I want to talk about this. That's Kite Society. And I want to say before I go into this, they also went to NOW, National Organization for Women Today. And their conversation was about reproductive justice. HAIL. We are pro-life. HAIL. We are pro-life. And I said, well, here it is. I'm just finding it surprising that a woman organization, even though the Republicans, white folks, I'm going to tell you right now, not to be on no comparison, but, you know, the Republicans, they're like pro-life all the way, honey. They think that's like a down pro-life. And yet, I'm going in there, don't get me wrong, I ain't trying to diss my sisters, but I just couldn't understand what the whole conversation about the abortion and all that was just get on look like black folks. You know, no, hell no. I said we pro-life. Now, here it is, you want to question the HPV, that vaccination that went down maybe about 10, you know, maybe 7 to 10 years ago. Now, that's something that's questionable. Okay? But yet here it is, they wearing no pins, abortion, our legal right. Well, here it is, the whole aspect of reproduction rights is there. I said, I know that's right. I understand. We should be able to have choices here and there. But I tell you the God honest truth, honey. Say, here it is, I don't know. You know, I had a situation with my child a little earlier, and here it is, it has something to do with some kind of, I want to do it her way, she want to do it my way, etc. But I did not ever, you know, think of, here it is, certain things. And I said, you know, a mother's love. You know how many women out there have babies by men, and yet here it is, those men don't even see their children, or things like that. And yet here it is, a woman can have sex with a stranger and find herself pregnant, and she still keeps that child, honey. Big up to those women out there here. I said, big up to the women out there here. But we pro-life. Okay. Yes, we support women's choice, but we pro-life. Okay. I was just like, no, I couldn't understand why those women were wearing them pants like that. I ain't gonna fib to you. Do you hear what some people I'm saying? And you know, what is interesting is that the conversation some time ago, I was listening at this African show and this Indian show, and here it is, this Asian show, and the white man show too. And it was clear that here it is, that they were asking, why them folks, they're hungry and starving over there, why them look like that, and why they keep on having them babies? And I say, here it is, they keep on having them babies because they're hoping that something will change. So that here it is, their children can eat. But that didn't mean they stopped having and nurturing their children. So things are looking a certain kind of way. Huh? Okay. What? No, I ain't gonna fib to you. I told you. I said, when you see me, you see me. I don't have to go through a whole lot of expression about what I do. What? Okay. I said, women, we special here. We breed children in the world, and we still provide, excuse me, not still, this is incorrect. That go three ways, but I'm going to make sure that you straight. No. Tulips, that's for women only. It's a spontaneous adventure. I didn't know what, someone asked me, well, what is it? And I just looked at one of my sisters and I said, you know what? Or another woman, a female. And I said, it's about us. And the way that I will view it is it really is a consultative seminars for women who can afford to understand what that thing is, because here it is. She is also a teacher unto other females. Whether you white, black, purple, green, yellow. Our females work in our communities. The women. You know how many women from this and from that and from that and from that and from that and that. And yet, here it is. And my embrace to her embrace to me may be as if we different. So the way that I see it is a whole lot of detail. I mean, I don't, we have a curriculum here. When they decide that they're going to actually participate with what that is. You just looking at Street Me page, you will know that here it is, the training, or here it is, the curriculum in itself will be there to try to improve the relationship among other women. Woman to woman. Without all the other stuff. Some of these women, we're going in there, we're going to these places, and here it is, we activating, and I understand. But here it is, we flowers. Well, I said I'm a bush in a tree. So I was growing that. I have a girlfriend. She's got, I was like, girl, I know that's right, but aren't you a flower? I mean, she act all butchy. Like, look at these women. They just so soft looking. They just have such a caress about themselves. Here it is. I do this. Stop! Get away! Fighting, carrying on. Good Lord, we just looking like here it is. Looking like, who is that? Looking like them strawberries and everything. Can we work on it? Men, please encourage your woman to exercise. Get on out there, and it's okay, honey. Put on the tape and tell her to get up. She should not be offended by that. She should not. We have to work on it. Get on it, honey. All right. Anyway, it's a spontaneous adventure to a beautiful representation and the opportunity for women to build relationships among us is vital. The venue, the tree, the kept, the share, tulips. We'll right along from there. Is there something else? Is it like great society, the true amelioration, the Kusa Saba? Yes, Eugenia. I was looking at some of the pictures on some of the pages, and we really do have men and women out there, and blessings to you guys. It seems like y'all have an interest in your community, and and you want to do these things here and there. And I tell you the God honest truth, I would like to work with you and participate with you. There's a couple of projects that I have looked at that need some attention. They need to be cared for. And if you have certain connections, I would like to be able to work with, people who have resources. I'm here and there and trying to communicate with people. And I don't want to I ain't going to say it seems a certain kind of way, but I know that there's not only resources, people are also a form of resource. That's what they told me. Anyway, I really do want to go out there and work. There's a place in Utoy Springs and Cascade, that little sitting area that needs to be cleaned up. Then there's the other effort is to try to get over here on Barge Road, where the convalescent home is. There's no, really, to tell you the truth, the whole area in itself should be a full wheelchair access from Barge Road all the way down to, I don't know what road, actually it's at Headland or something. From there, all the way to Greenbrier Mall. Without them even having to get on the bus, they should be able to cruise down the hill, up the hill, to go to the mall. It's just the truth. So that's another thing that could be worked on. And I was like, they actually have disability staff. There's a young man by the name of Lamont. He on his left side, I think he's not able to actually move his arms and stuff the way that he wants to. So I would like to work with him. There is a gentleman by the name of Ricky Brown. I think some people are familiar with him. He has Next Step Staffing, where he actually works for people who have disabilities. And if we're able to establish a relationship with him and establish a relationship with people who actually hire people with disabilities, thank goodness for Goodwill Industries. And also I know Walmart is good with that. And I know that Target is working on it, okay, but I know Goodwill Industries and Walmart, I know that they do hire people with disabilities, and along with so many others. So again, thank you for hiring our disadvantaged people. Let's see. So Ujima. And there's a lot of other little things that I've seen here and there. For an example, MARTA. 71. I'm surprised no one has spoke up on Bus Route 71. Bus Route 71, I haven't really driven Cascade Road all the way up the way I want to. I think that I've only kind of gone where that turn is, where the Southwest Cultural Center is. And now, for those who didn't know, but there's a beautiful theater up there. And once we get the Google Saba off the ground, maybe we could get Jack Walters down here and do Word Work Witness. If you go on the website, you'll see where it has some tutorials about communicating exercise, talking about strength, and then you open up a page, you see Jack Walters. Well, that could be a starting point. I mean, what a beautiful theater. They actually have free classes and stuff like that in terms of the arts. And anyway, they have classes and stuff up there for children, dance, they make quilts, they do this, they do that, they have music. Man, so many folks need bus access up there, okay? They do. I mean, the bus should really, literally run up there, if not even farther than that. Okay? And then there should be only one bus, even if it runs frequently. So they got one to go to one apartment complex and make the loop, then the other one go to another apartment complex. No, they should go to that one. It should go around, make the loop, and go up the street. Okay? So here it is for Route 71, should they expand it? Those who work on MARTA and that's listening on this phone conversation, please. I mean, we shouldn't have to go knock down doors and talk about how we need to expand. Here it is, 71 from West End up to down Cascade Road. That should be an extended service for the people anyway. People waiting, that's a busy road. Anyway. Bus Route 165 right there at the restaurant. I think it sits right there off of Cascade and Fairburn Road. That right there needs a bitch. And then also a trash can. Okay, we got litter bugs, and little bugs, all that trash need to go inside the bin. And then here it is. It should be a bench there. You know, people them sitting on electricity and stuff. Well, we knock them cables down. They want to blame somebody. Who they gonna blame? MARTA, or they gonna blame that that little business district? I don't know. But if MARTA was being responsible, they'll make sure that they had a trash bin there, and then here it is, or whatever they have to do right there, and then put a bench in the trash bin. Okay. Some time ago, I did have a conversation. I'm calling out MARTA, but the thing is that we have to look at MARTA as a business venture. What has been, I was looking at MARTA, and they were talking about how they did a audit on MARTA, one of their employees. They got faithful employees, apparently. They weren't put on there that they had an audit, and the only thing they got out of that man was $1,000. Now, I was like, now, you know that wasn't newsworthy, right? You know how many this, that, and the other CEOs make big banks. This CEO only makes less than $500,000. You know that CEO should have been making anywhere. You know how much that man should be making per year? So that when I'm calculating it, say the people them being loyal. They got a loyal group of employees. If the only thing they got audited and spying, here it is, they use a credit card, and here and there there's supposed to be $1,000. Now, the thing is that what MARTA should do is that they should encourage people to do the park and ride. But what has happened is that, consider this, I haven't really been, like when they have in the World, the Congress Center, I know that they may have a lot of those hotels and stuff right there, but the disadvantage is that you don't really see a lot of people riding on the MARTA train. And when we look at MARTA, oh, you got it. Excuse you. We have Georgia Tech. I know. Georgia State. Okay, I know. And you mean to tell me we don't have any of them students riding on it like that? You see all these parking decks, which over a period of time, especially when you consider maybe development, that may be a good thing. But we have MARTA that stretches many different places. Do we want MARTA to give up their parking space? No, not really. I think it's the responsibility of, here it is, the people who work for MARTA to try to get their staff, to get the people, okay, to encourage the business, because, no, there's other things to do. I'm trying to get with the MARTA board myself. But this little small thing says, let me go ahead and spill the juice. Honey, y'all need to go ahead and get this thing done. Y'all need to work on it. But when you come to profit sharing, please wait until I knock on the door before we all can break even. I get a piece of that little pie. But they should have already been on profit sharing. But hold on. The people who do public relations should have already, like I like with SBA, like I went down there, and they said, well, ride MARTA. Because MARTA, you ride MARTA, and you right there at SBA, or, 233. So you all up and down here and there, so you already have access to many of these places. They're remote. MARTA is a good place, a good form of transportation. Okay? So when you're looking at all these empty, from the airport, all those things should be, where is MARTA talking about the ozone and all that stuff? But they want to talk about how they want to raise the prices. Hold up. Those prices don't need to be raised. What we do need, though, is we need those consultants to go and talk to some of those businesses and encourage their staff to ride the bus or park and ride. What happened to that? That's where the money is at, because now we got all these people blocking up traffic. We got all that free old parking space that MARTA has to offer, and here it is for them to pay $100 a month. Now you can calculate that. Let me grab my calculator. 7 let's just say here it is on average $5. $5 times 30, that's $150. For a MARTA card, this is what they need to sell to these businesses. But for $100, and then of course if they doing business with them, maybe they could break even because here it is, they're offering corporate accounts or corporate incentives. But that whole aspect of park and ride, and considering our environment, considering these other factors, hey, I tell you the gun on this truth, what? We shouldn't even have any traffic right up and down the street when we got all those parking from this on the south end of the stick, on the west end of the stick. Some of them people coming up there from Douglasville know they should have been parking at H.E. Holmes. And FYI, for children who want to go to Six Flags, you are able to catch the bus from H.E. Holmes to Six Flags. Now, y'all know over this period of time, that should have already been a train station going up there. Now, why in the world are they sitting there spending that money over there at Vine City Station, looking like that look over there? And hey, please call that man Joseph Lowry and tell him his street look like it look. Now, if you go down, right down Joseph Lowry, that street look a hot mess. Them folks walking around there looking like they look. Now, again, how do you rate that community? Huh. I was like, now, West End and that little clique right there look okay, and then here it is, this just start transforming. Call somebody. Call Joseph and tell him that thing look like it. Look, honey, don't they know that here it is? I mean, here it is. We want those accounts. So anybody who know them, and we got the connection, you know, say, hey, we want to be able to work that out. Street meat, for real. Ugh. But anyway, what the conversation should be, and this is where, here it is, the residents, especially the people who ride MARTA, you know MARTA should have already been on the stock market. Whether they was going to put $1, $5, or whatever. We should, to tell you the truth, because listen, MARTA don't owe anybody. They want to talk about, I'm like, well, how in the world is MARTA in debt? Well, here it is, they got riders from North Springs, from Doraville, but when you look at their parking lot, those things are empty. So that means, instead of you trying to raise up the bus fare, y'all need to go about finding out, learning more about this traffic. Find out about what's going on with the traffic. Then try to, so that means they have to get with the DOT. Then get with the businesses. Find out about the park and ride. Get the people to park on there. We have police. Matter of fact, I was like, I wonder if I could leave my bike. And the woman said, well, I don't know about that. I said, well, a person leave their car. These people riding, putting their bikes and stuff up on the train. You know you just going downtown. You ain't going to be riding your bike downtown. We should be able to park our bike at these different locations, leave it there so that we can take care of our business. So let me give you an example. Like I was like, oh gosh, if I have to catch the bus and catch, at a distance, I can catch ride my bike, put my bike on the bus, and then when I get to the station, I can leave it there while I go and make my business downtown. I should be able to lock it up and not think about it like that. You understand where I'm coming from? But, of course, if I'm walking to the bus station, I get on the bus, that's a little different. But when I got to ride the bike, I'm like, well, I wonder if I'll be able to leave it over here at this little park and ride right here. Because we got a park and ride over here. Okay? So utilizing the park and ride. And then I'm like, I ain't going to fit to you. I want to go get on some of these other buses so I can find out what's going on here and there. Okay, because the thing, but let me go back to this. But when they decide that they're going to go ahead and give shares to the people, they need to consider the base of the people who ride it in the first dang place. We should get a big portion of that. We should already become owners of what we are riding, and that's MARTA. Why haven't they done that? So they wanted to say how here it is, the majority of the people who ride the train. And I'm like, well, here it is. I ain't going to feel to you. I sure look at MARTA as being a good company. You know, my girlfriends and them, they would work with them and they would, talk about how they were good at this, that, and the other. Excuse me. So the thing is to tell you, hey, profit sharing. It should be an open market where here it is, the propaganda is delivered to the people who ride in MARTA. Now, I said this. I said when I moved back out here, I'm looking at lessons, looking at the whole thing, everything. I was like, here it is. Have y'all paid attention at the artwork that they have in these different train stations? Like the ones that they have over there at 5 Points. Well, it looks kind of dungy and dirty. I was like, well, here it is. It made me wonder if the people who are actually working with MARTA are investing in MARTA. Okay, let me repeat that. The people working with MARTA, are they investing in MARTA? Because that's what I'm about to say again. That CEO should be making more money than that. So that means that they are not delivering what that thing is to even consider. Because I'm like, wow, the construction and the architecture. I'm like, here it is. This thing was built some years ago. What a phenomenal work. And they're all interestingly unique. You could go, and another thing, the advertisement. The advertisement for these stations, each one of those stations, it should be delivered. They should let you know what's there. Just like how they have those Atlanta people out there, like, and they give you instructions. I think the courtesy people. Well, when you go to each station, especially the downtown area or wherever, there should be a list of highlights. And like for the example, the Art Center station. You know that's over by Woodruff Art Center. They should have figurines over there. There should be some artwork over there. It should be inviting, especially when you know that people are taking the bus and getting on the trolley, blessings, to get over to Atlantic City. Okay? All right. So when it comes down to us making a decision to get with MARTA and you try to profit share, honey, I encourage all of us to participate in that. I know. Okay? He said, here it is. Yes, they should be less than $5 because, they wrong for that. They don't, honey, they pride themselves about how they don't get no federal dollars, how they don't get no state dollars, and how they just sitting over there all independent, and they didn't break wind with us. And who's us? The MARTA riders. Okay? No, we should have already been involved in that. Anyway. What else is going on with that? So, cleaning up those areas. I'm like, some of that stuff, they should have already used the power washers and clean that stuff off. In the nighttime, clean up some of that dirt here and there. Even whatchamajigga, some of those stations you have to go right each station and see what it looks like. Some of those artworks and stuff, it needs to be improved. Because here it is, we want to maintain those structures. There's some art that is there, All right. The encouragement, as always, is to be innovative. Have innovative thoughts, be creators. And as I explained and expressed a little earlier, there actually are buildings that are sitting over there in West End and Plaza. They're just over there empty, just looking like it's looking. Matter of fact, one of them looked like it was a chicken farm or something, or Maine horses. We need to be able to do that thing in terms of building business. Not just copying some CDs and somehow selling some oil and some shea butter. But I also wanted to say this, since when I was talking about them horses. We need to upgrade on what we call exercise and sports. We got archery. We got racetrack. I wonder if the people know that we have folks out there riding racetracks. When was the last time they went to the Grand Prix out there in Jonesboro? That to say this. Here it is for these people who feel like they want to have an extended relations. Honey, we should have already had an open voice on trying to get to the Olympics, and maybe my suggestion would be CAR or Sudan. Not Sudan, Chad. CAR or Chad. That's Central African Republic. Central African Republic. I also was thinking Mali too, but that right there in that area, they show, because you rarely hear them, and then they also going through whether they look like they look. But that would have, how many, all them people over there, not disputing if they are participating in certain sports like baseball, football, soccer. Well, football, soccer, you understand how that goes. They intertwines or vice versa. Archery, swimming. I mean, just a whole array of sports. But the bid for that to actually go and generate income, and here it is, this is, I know that they were calling out South Africa, but it would be more interesting to see if it was able to make and win bid at Chad or CAR or Mali. Okay? I mean, really, to tell you the truth, we should be more involved in sports. What was that thing? The silver something, when we go out there to Kentucky Derby. So we have the Kentucky Derby and all that, Hello? All right. So we need more people involved and interested in upgrading your sports. Most of these folks are talking about basketball, they pants down, having on their knees and shit like that. Oh, excuse me. I mean, learn how to do some archery and some fencing. Remember, how to play fencing, right? And then here it is, the archery. Learn how to ride some horses, like out there in Kentucky Derby. Did y'all know the history about Kentucky Derby? Do you know the history about Kentucky Derby? Well, read it and you'll find out. I ain't gonna fib to you. I don't know why we upset. Why we downset either. Upset either. But yet here it is, what we should acknowledge is, here it is, the goodness of the relationship that we share with one another. But what is it? We need to advance in our sports. Swimming, archery, fencing, car racing, like the drag racing, the motorbikes, the skateboard, okay? Baseball, football, soccer. What's some other ones? There's many, many other sports. Bobsled. It was like ever since here it is. What was the name? Whatever that name of that movie was. So you ain't seen no other bobsleds out there yet. So anyway, we do need to get people more involved in these different sports. Like I said, here it is. There's nothing wrong for our men to be involved in sports and be trained in certain areas. But then also there should be another view at Fort McPherson. We need our men to have structure. And I was looking through some things and talking about No to AFRICOM, but if we really had, let's just say, the area over there at Fort McPherson, that would have been a swell place for the AUC Center to offer military training as a school. It's legal. Fort Gilliam over there for people who need to have certain training, and they could have used that area for the homeless people and to detoxify them so they can probably find themselves doing some other work. And the veterans, if they wasn't owed, send themselves back to the military. They're hiring. For callers who's listening, you're able to call, let me find this number here. The telephone number is 646-564-9776. We are on the air 30 minutes daily at 11:30 p.m. We are actually doing the promotion, which allows us to be on air a little longer, and we're thankful for that. But we do need donations to keep us on Blog Talk. I don't know. I'll be searching around to see if there's some other radio stations that maybe we can attend. Anyway, it's www.streetmeet.biz and www.meetup.com/street-meet, M-E-E-T. Street Meet Mingle will be on Sunday, June 1st, 2014 at 2 p.m. Please join us. If the small meeting room is small, and maybe we could go to the medium one. If not, they have a good-looking park that we can go out there and enjoy certain things. I met somebody, let me repeat these things. I know that I said if you know anybody who does this and does that. But it would be an interest to actually do Naguzo Saba jewelry, those little emblems or charms or whatever you want to call them. Make those into jewelry out of brass, iron, or brass, iron, copper. If you know how to fix bikes, their encouragement is to try to get men to promote their women to get fit. Exercise with your women, men. Okay? Here it is, you got another man talking about your woman, yet here it is, you don't want to ask your own woman to exercise, and you ain't exercising, but yet here it is, you like her too. And we thank you. We do. Thank you. Anyway, we need people who know how to fix bikes and who are able to make candles. Okay? Naguzo Saba is 365 days and beyond. We're looking for people who know how to drum and dance. Of course, be able to culturally be inclusively entertaining for our community and our seniors and our youth. We do need drums, island and continent garments, kanaras, donations of fruit and vegetables, etc. Juicers. And what else for the day or for the evening? As usual, we're always thankful for our listening audience. And that is to say, thanks for joining Street Meet, The Point, listening audience, and hope to have your support. We accept donations, crowdfunding support, and your participation. Everyone is valuable in your participation to help yourself, family, community, local, state, region, federal, and global community relies on the many people that contribute to being an effective structure. Thanks again. Please visit our website, We do have a calendar on both of them. On the blog talk, there's a calendar for the meetup.com. So please visit www.streetmeet.biz and our connect partner, which is www.meetup.com/street-meet. I wanted to say that there is a calendar, and we are interested in people getting involved with Street Meet. I will try to formulate a sign-up sheet for those who will be attending the meeting so that you can choose which committee or which side you'd like to be on, and which areas that you would prefer to work on, okay? And let's see. We want to be able to be effective, okay? So I'm looking for people to participate. If you begin to have if you're interested, yes, there's an active calendar. We want you to work, okay? We want you to be involved. I ain't gonna fib to you. I did release a couple of those folks off of our meetup.com because they were on there, and yet as I was emailing them, they didn't. I couldn't get in hold of them, you know. And then and it's just the truth, you know. We are looking for people who's willing to create community well-being, okay? I mean, it's not criminal here. There's people out there really out there protesting and doing all. I'm like, I feel you, but what is it about? What is it? Okay. So if we can structure what that is without, I don't want to say, you know, as long as I know that here it is, that we're structured in a matter where here it is effective. There is actually avenues for policy making and lobbying. They actually have groups for this. And so this will be part of the alignment, okay, for us to try to align in areas and with groups of people so that here it is when we're representing Blessing Street Meet Company and what that entails and what that reflection is in regards to us as a family unit. That's important. Well, there's many leaders here and there, and there's also every kind of level of management. But anyway, again, thank you for joining Street Meet, The Point, listening audience, and hope to have your support. We do accept donations, crowdfunding. We do seek your support and your participation. Everyone is valuable in your participation to help yourself, your family, your community, local, state, regional, federal, and global community relies on the many people that contribute to it being an effective structure. Thanks again. Please visit www.streetmeet.biz and our connect partner, which is www.meetup.com/street-meet. And the listing phone number is 646-564-9776. All right, from earlier on, let me go get my children some hugs and kisses and apologize. Talk with you guys later. Good night.